I want to start this video off by saying if this is coming across as being a know-it-all or anything like that, I apologize. That's not the intent. My intent is to help Johannes. He posted an honest question and was getting a bunch of wrong feedback, so much so that he didn't know who to believe, and he even asked, can somebody just go out to their garage, show me how to cut this, and cut it. So without further ado, here's how I would do it and why I wouldn't do it other ways. Earlier you made a post with a picture of a triangular pyramid shape holding the, or making a flower bed, and you asked for the angles. And a lot of people were suggesting using a miter saw, and that is a possibility, but I want to show you why I wouldn't use the miter saw. So imagine this was a piece of crown. If this is a piece of crown molding, we put it upside down, and then usually there's some sort of block here that we hold to keep the crown in that position, and we cut the angle. We do it this way because two reasons. One, in a house we typically don't see over 45-degree angles, and if you have the board set at the angle you want it to be at, you don't have to understand compound angles. You literally just set your saw to 45, make the cut, and it inherently makes the compound cut. But in your case, you would need to be able to do a 60-degree cut with a miter saw. Well, you can't do that. So you've got a couple options. One is to use the compound function of your miter saw. Depending on the bevel that you have or don't have, you still may not have the capacity to get that angle just right. You could also make a jig. You can make a jig that holds the board at an angle to the bottom and at an angle to the fence, but you're just getting really complicated. Roofing framers have been doing this for years, and on a project like this, the accuracy you can get with a circular saw is all you need. So I'm going to show you how I would do it. You could also use the same method with your table saw. I'm going to use this piece of plywood because I don't have a 2x6 long enough to show, but I'm going to start off by drawing the angle with my speed square. Now I'm going to shoot for a 45-degree angle splayed out once it's finished. To achieve that, you need a 50.76 degree angle on the board and a 37.76 degree angle on your circular saw. Now for a project like this, typically you don't have to be that accurate. You can be close because it's outdoor furniture, it's 2x6, it's going to expand and contract anyway. You can typically get it close enough to where you can sand to be good. Now if this was for a piece of furniture, you would need to use a lot more accurate method than a speed square or a protractor. Now I'm going to use the track saw because I have one and it's just a lot easier to use. You can do this freehand, or for years I used a DIY track saw that I built. Just Google DIY track saw and you'll see they're really easy to make. Or you can use your table saw or several other methods. So I've got my speed square zeroed out along that axis. Right there, we're on 60 degrees. So there you go, three-sided. That's a 50.76 miter with a 37.76 bevel, and that equals a 45-degree slant.